Good evening, YouTubers. So welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, well, everybody's new to my channel. It's a new channel, so welcome. I've not done too many videos yet, but I plan to get plenty more on in the near future. I'm Carl. I live in North Wales, in Wrexham. Banker by day, scale modeler of sorts by the evenings and the weekends. So with a view to getting some content on my channel, I've got a long, well, I don't know about long modelling history, but I've got a modelling history that runs back sort of 2, maybe 3 years now. Started modelling just after my dad died, something to get my teeth into, and I really got a liking for it, and it's taken off as a hobby, and I think it's going to be something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I just thought that obviously I'm going to build videos up for anything I build going forward. I'm going to try and keep a record of the process. But I thought it'd be nice to just make a quick video and have some details of builds I've built before my channel existed, effectively. So before I had the forethought to, take pictures of the process or really record what I was doing. At the very least, I can show you what I've done before now. They're a bit of a mixed bunch. Still firmly in the amateur modeling category, not even close to not being, I wouldn't even say I'm close to intermediate level. So yeah, you might have to forgive the quality of some of my stuff. But I do really love the hobby. I love buying kits, probably even more than building them. I'm dangerous when you get me in a hobby show. I come home with a car full of kits. The stash is growing rapidly, as you can see. It's a bit messy at the moment, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But yeah, so this is just going to be a quick run through some short little video clips of kits that I've built so far. It won't be none of my really early work is here because they were so bad that I don't have them anymore. But there's definitely at least sort of the last 18 months worth of what I've built, most of it anyway. So I hope you enjoy. Please take a look at some of my other videos. Also maybe subscribe. There'll be more to come. Once I get my mojo back, I'm a pretty prolific builder for the most part, so I expect there'll be plenty more videos coming, and hopefully you'll see a improvement in the quality as they go. So try not to be too harsh. Please don't judge too badly. But if you got any comments or any feedback, positive or negative, it's all valuable. I'd love to hear it. And if by any freakish coincidence you think I can help you in some way, by all means give me a shout, and I will be more than happy to offer whatever limited advice I can. But yeah, I don't have that much to give. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Okay, to date, the biggest thing that I've built, this is my Airfix 48 scale, the ACTSR2. Wonderful airplane, absolute marvelous piece of engineering that unfortunately never got built properly. I don't know, I waver on this, on how happy I am with it. It took a lot of work, but it hasn't come out fantastic. I'm reasonably happy with it, but it photographs a lot better from a little bit of a distance than it does when you get it up close. You start to see the flaws in it. Some areas have taken the wash better than others, and I don't think I did a good enough job glossing it before I started work on the weathering. I think I got a bit over enthusiastic with the dirt on it as well. It's the first time I've ever attempted anything with this scale, so I wouldn't say I'm unhappy with it, but I think if I was to do another one, which I hope I will at some point, I think I can do a much better job than this. But that said, I do still really love it, very happy with it. Yeah, so this is the Airfix kit, 148 scale. I bought this at last time we went to Telford to Scale Model World in 2019. I was wandering around the kit swap towards the end of the day, and somehow this was still there. It wasn't. It was quite a good price for the kit, so I snapped it up. Very excited about it, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Nice kit to build. Very nice kit to build. I'm not a massive fan of Airfix kits, if I'm honest. I always find them to be a little bit overly complicated, but this one wasn't the same with here. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Right, well, this is one of my very early kits. This is the Tamiya 148 scale RAF Mustang. This was the first kit I ever built in 148 scale. Also one of my very earliest attempts at using an airbrush. Looking at it now, there's an awful lot I would do differently if I did it again, and in fact I have done this kit again since then. I'll show you that shortly. Well, depending on which order I put these on the video on in the end, you might have already seen it. But I have done this a second time because it's a really, I really like the kit. It's not a very complicated kit to build, but I love the Mustang. It's probably, I think it's, you know, obviously everybody goes for Spitfires and Hurricanes, you know, all patriotic and all the rest of it, but I think the Mustang is the most beautiful airplane there's ever been, bar none. There's lots of pretty things that fly around, but I think the Mustang is my favourite. But again, looking at it now, there's a lot I'm not happy with it. I've got some marks on one of the decals is starting to come off. So stuff that I didn't really, I don't remember noticing that before. Maybe it's got worse having been in the box for a while. But you know, as an early attempt, I think I was reasonably proud of this at the time. It still stands up okay, but I've done better attempts since then. But yeah, again, very nice kit. I love the Tamiya Mustang. In fact, I've done this one. Like I said, I've done this one again already, and I've got the Korean War variant sitting on the shelf to the side of me, ready to go. Literally. So there we go. See, that's one of the next ones I've got lined up. But yeah, very nice kit. Just a bit of an amateurish attempt from myself, but you know, we've all got to learn. This is where a lot of my learning happened. Okay, so this is one of my more recent builds. This is another, depending on which order I end up putting these on the video. This is another 148 scale Tamiya RAF Mustang. This is the second one I did. I did this towards the end of the summer last year in 2020, just as the second part of the lockdown was about to kick in. First time I've had a real crack at doing the invasion stripes. I think it came out pretty well, by my standards at least. I know that I've seen some of you guys' videos on here who are in a different league to me as a modeler. So, but by my own standards, I think I was, you know, very happy with this. I think it's come out really well. There's definitely still things to learn, things to do better for next time. But all things considered, I was pretty happy with the way this turned out. I think of all of my kits, all the kits I've built, I think this is probably the one that I'm happiest with. Sure, that might change over time as I get more experienced, but at the moment, yeah, it's probably my favourite. This is one of my more recent builds. I built this, I don't know, this would be in the summer, around the lockdown time. This is a Supermarine Seafang in 1/48 scale. It's a trumpeter kit to date. Well, I'm building a trumpeter kit at the moment. I'm building a trumpeter Sea Hornet. But as of yet, this is the only one I've completed. It was actually a very nice kit. Went together very well. No fit issues. Very nice quality. I did have some issues getting the decals here to conform around some of the bodywork, as you can see. But other than that, I really enjoyed it, and got me through a few weeks of the first lockdown back at the start of last year. Very nice kit. I love the propeller on this. So this is going to make a nice pair. The Sea Hornet that I'm building at the moment, obviously, is going to be in the same RAF naval livery. So it won't have the stripes, of course, but it's going to look very similar in terms of the paint job. So they're going to make a nice pair, hopefully, once I've finished. So yeah, I really enjoyed that kit. So that's the Trumpeter 1/48 Supermarine Seafang. Okay, so this is my 1/48 scale Bristol Beaufighter. This is a Tamiya kit. It's one of a couple that they do in this scale. Bought it from Hobbycraft a couple of years ago, and I started building it earlier, well, last summer, right in the midst of the initial part of the lockdown. Got about halfway through it and really lost my mojo and put it to one side for a while. Then I finally got around to finishing it off. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Not massively happy with it. I had a few issues with the decals were very thick and a bit fragile at the same time as well, which is a bit contradictory. But if you can see by here, one of the decals has got a little break in the side of it. But you know, it's definitely, you know, come out reasonably well. So let's give it a bit of a rotate. I've done a bit of a poor effort on painting the rear gunner's canopy. Just a bit upset about. I think that was masked and then sat there for about 6 months without me knowing that I'd made a mistake with it. But all things considered, it's not such a bad effort. It's the first time I've done this particular model. So I wasn't too disappointed with it, but I would have liked for it to come out better. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm still learning. You know, I've been modelling for a few years now, but I still consider myself like a serious amateur. So I wasn't too disappointed with this. Okay, this is my 1/48 scale Mosquito. This is also a Tamiya kit. This is a little bit older, a bit further back in my modelling journey. So I think I did this, I don't know, it must be about 18 months ago now. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. I had real trouble with the canopy and getting the little side panels to stick. And it, I don't know, if I'm honest, this is the first time I've had it out of the box well, since we went to the last show. Last show we went to was Bolton, the Bolton IPMS show last year. It's been in the box since then, and I'm just spotting things now that I didn't realise were wrong with it before. So yeah, it's again, this is one of those ones. This was the first time I built anything bigger than sort of fighter size. I know it's a fighter, but I mean, I'm not dreadfully unhappy with it. But I think it could be better. But it's one of those things. Again, it's a learning curve. But you know, I enjoyed the build. The only port is that it does hide a slight flaw, though. I managed to lose one of the clear pieces. So if you take a look at the underside, you can see that there is a large gaping hole by here, which I need to try and resolve at some point. But it's one of those kits. I'm sure I'll build another one at some point. So I'll try and do a better job with the next one. This was a very early kit for me, and this is a Tamiya Corsair in 1/48 scale. I really enjoyed this kit. Well, I say enjoyed it. Putting the wings on was a bit of a bitch, but other than that, I really liked it. It's quite a simple build. Obviously, it's reasonably easy to paint because it's well, the way I decided to do it anyway was all pretty much one color. But I really enjoyed this build. This is very early on in my journey into modelling. This is probably 2 years ago now I built this. I started modelling 3 years ago. This is one of the first 48 scale planes I built. Like I said, the kit was Tamiya. I bought it at as a thought. I think it was the IPMS Avon show in 2018. First show I ever went to. Really good show, by the way. If you've never been, if you're anywhere local and we ever get to go to shows again, I'd highly recommend going down there. Really nice bunch of guys. Very good show. Probably the best one I've been to outside of Telford. We've been there a couple of years. It's really good place. But yeah, I love that kit. It's an old kit, I believe, but it's quite a nice kit. It's got lots of nice detail on the surface. I might give that. In fact, I've seen those. They're not very expensive. I might get myself another one of these ones and try and do a better job. But yeah, I like that one. Okay, this is another one of my more recent builds. I did this. This was sort of my little bit of a build on the side as I was working on the Mustang and the TSR2 towards the end of the summer last year. This is a P36 Hawk, American fighter from World War II. The kit was by Academy, if I remember rightly. Quite a simple kit, nothing too complicated. My first real attempt at doing a metal body, and I've not done the best job. I've since learned then that you can make a big difference with this kind of thing by making sure you have a good base coat, a good primer, and doing it in black. These are all lessons I've learned, so we'll do better next time. But all things considered, as a sort of a secondary build, I think it's come out okay. It's not perfect by any means, but I quite enjoyed it. Because I wasn't treating it as my main build, I didn't really feel any pressure to make a good job of it. I just wanted to have something to do really while I was waiting for the parts to dry, or But no, I quite enjoyed that, and I quite like the aircraft. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you. Okay, so there was a spell a couple of years ago where I had a little dalliance with the old Russian World War II fighters. So this is a, I'm not going to try and pronounce the full names because I can't do it. I'm just going to make an ass of myself if I try. So this is a Yak3, and this is a Yak3. I really like them. I plan to try and get hold of some more kits of the Soviet aircraft, just because they're a bit different. You don't see so many of them, not in the UK anyway, and I quite like them. Do some interesting some interesting sort of paint schemes as well. But no, I really enjoyed building these two. Particularly the Yak3, I was particularly happy with. I got a bit random on the lag. with the paint job. But, no, I really enjoyed them. I'm trying to remember who the manufacturer was on the kits. Can't for the life of me remember now. They weren't. Oh, I think this was an ICM kit. Can't remember who made the Yak3, but it was quite an enjoyable build. Seems to recall this one was a bit of a pig. This was a bit hard to get stuff to fit, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I like them both. Okay, this is another one of my earlier efforts at 1/48. This is Tamiya Wildcat. If I'm honest, I was disappointed with this kit. Normally I love the Tamiya kits, but the decals were difficult to work with, and the detail on the kit, a lot of it is raised. There's lots of there's thousands of raised rivets. I don't mind detail, but I'm not a fan of raised detail on it. But at the same time, I don't have the patience to sand it down or rescribe it. So I went ahead with it. Not thrilled with it, and as you can see there, I forgot to paint in the cockpit as well. I didn't realise until I took the masking off the cockpit that I hadn't put any paint down on the dashboard, which is a bit frustrating. So yeah, that's not my favourite effort, not gonna lie. This one I think will be staying in the box when we go to any future model shows. Here is what is thus far my only Messerschmitt 109. I'm a bit scared of the I'm a bit scared of the Luftwaffe mottling. I've never tried that properly yet, and so I chickened out a bit really on the paint scheme on this. I went for a desert scheme on it rather than doing the traditional Luftwaffe, green and whatever turquoise is it? I'm not sure what you call the colour, but with the mottling effects on the side, it looks great, but I wasn't confident that I could pull it off. So I went for the easy option. This was actually this was sort of a second build I had going whilst I was spending time on the Seafang. I had this on the go alongside it just as something to do while I was waiting for things to dry, or just so I didn't get bored. I think it turned out okay, actually, to be honest. I mean, it isn't the most complicated thing. It's a very simple livery scheme, but the decal's gone down really well. I was pleasantly surprised with how that one turned out, I'm not going to lie. It's a nice kit. It was a Hasegawa kit in 1/48. Look at the underside there. So yeah, I think that's despite the fact that it's actually, no, apologies, it wasn't Hasegawa. It was one of the cheap Revell ones that they sell in Hobbycraft for a tenner. I got it when it was in the sale last year. I don't know if you remember, the Hobbycraft went through a spell of selling off their kits really cheap. So all the Revell kits, they were selling the 1/48 Tornadoes for about half price, and basically everything was half the usual price. So I bought a pile of them. So these are only a £5 each. I got some Spitfires as well. Just remembered because they very helpfully put a large Revell stamp on the tail, and given that it was my my keeping me occupied while I was working on a better kit build, I couldn't be bothered to sand that off, which is a bit of a bad on my side, I guess. That was me being lazy, but I'm still reasonably happy with that. It turned out pretty well. Okay, so now for something very different. This is my Batmobile, as you can see, from the well, from the Michael Keaton movies. So whether you want to say Batman or Batman Returns, either one. Very, very iconic vehicle. One of only a couple of cars I've ever built. I'm not a fan of building cars at all, but I do love Batman. And I couldn't leave this when I saw this in the. I actually bought this from the Bolton show. When we went at the start of last year, and I straight away put it on the bench when I got home, built it, and it was finished within a couple of weeks. So yeah, I was actually reasonably happy with the way it came out as well. I know it's not the most complicated thing to do, you've got to paint it black, but still, I really enjoyed it. Nice little kit. So we can see a little bit better on the rear end. But yeah, I quite enjoyed doing something a bit different, and yeah, I like that one a lot.